welcome everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. And the first question I would like to start with is the question, so why did we write that book? And there are a couple of good reasons for that. First, there's a lot of, let's say, information around when it comes to artificial intelligence. A lot of big hopes are went into artificial intelligence, and especially in our days, we see what came true, what was possible or is possible, and what's not. And I think that book can really help us to better understand what can be done with AI and where the limits are. A second very important reason for us and for me was I wished more and more organizations would see the big potential knowledge graphs have. And so we thought, okay, let's write the cookbook and come up with good recipes, because that's obviously still kind of a bottleneck. Lots of companies in the meantime have realized, okay, knowledge graphs is something we should pay some attention, but is it really worth looking into it more? Is it really worth investing into that? And so we came up with the book and want you to give you a good overview of what can be done with knowledge graphs and how to cook them. And another reason which really triggered this project was, okay, knowledge graphs can be used on in many different application scenarios. They can provide answers to small questions, to small problems, but even to very big, maybe global problems. And this is the beauty of knowledge graphs. They can really scale out over time. And all that made me very enthusiastic with that project. And so I asked Helmut if he would like to join in at the very beginning. And yeah, thanks God, he said yes. And now I would like to hand over and let him introduce you also why he wrote the book.
Yeah, it was great to have the opportunity to write this book with Andreas. It was a great adventure for me when we started years ago, and when I joined Semantic Web Company. Knowledge graphs were not the topic. The topic was semantic web. It was Enterprise 2.0 here in Europe. I don't know how it was in US. The topic evolved over time, but what was already clear at that point in time is for me, the connection between semantic web as a new also technology or way or methodology to enable knowledge management in a better way, or achieve things that couldn't be achieved there. And it was great to see over the years that this really developed further. And yeah, and I think it was really time now to bring down all that experience that we gathered over the years and compile it in the book. So we are eager to hear what you think about it and to get your feedback on it. So of course, this is why we established also a LinkedIn group for the book.
So let's start with the actual content. Part one, we start with an introduction to knowledge graphs. And we introduce the whole topic from different angles. So there are many ways to start talking about knowledge graphs. You could start with a basic principle that with a knowledge graph, you introduce things, not strings anymore. You could start with the FAIR principles, with metadata. You could talk about data silos and why that's a really big problem in our data management. Another angle you can start from is talking about knowledge organization, all the different methodologies in place, like taxonomy management, or even with simpler methods like card sorting. Yeah, we come up with this kind of methodology as well. Going over many different well-established methodologies, you come, of course, then to the question, okay, how can a knowledge graph governance look like? How can you involve all these different stakeholders into one methodology, into one workflow? We also talk about visualization. So many people believe that knowledge graphs are mainly for visualization. But is it really the case? Of course it's not. So we want to explain which role visualization plays here. And then what Helmut already pointed out, knowledge management, a big topic. All the companies tried to do their best to establish working knowledge management systems. And that's not just limited to a document management system. We all know that. It has a lot to do with a cultural change, with the mindsets in place. You need to do so. And we really tried our best to explain to the reader that a knowledge graph is not just a it's not just a graph database. It's not just a technology. It's much more than that. It really helps to bring in a new culture of knowledge sharing if you do it the right way. And last but not least, AI. We all know there's a lot of promises were taken, and we took a look. Okay, what is the difference when you introduce knowledge graphs? How can you then rely on explainable AI, and why is that so important? In the second part, of course, we were asking. Now, hopefully, most people got the idea. They are motivated. They now see the power of knowledge graphs. So how can we start to cook that? So what is the first step? How to prep the kitchen?
And a first start is, of course, to assess how mature is the company for such a change. Yeah. And here, this maturity model can help. Yeah. Again, start simple and grow, but also see what is your position in the company. How much can you achieve for such an initiative? Where is it positioned? How many stakeholders are involved? Is the company already ready for change because you're regular to change, you are agile, you look at new things? Is it rather conservative and avoids change? All of that has to be considered at the beginning to assess the maturity of the company to go into such a project, and also to plan it right and do the first steps correct at the beginning.
When we talk about cooking, you also need to know how to make all these recipes work. All that has to be learned, and we tried our best to come up with a quite comprehensive list of methodologies, which then you have to put together the right way and the right sequence with the right people involved. And here we come up with the knowledge graph lifecycle. And I remember very well, there was years ago the link data lifecycle, which built somehow the basis for that idea. But it also became over the years clearer and clearer. It's not that easy. It's not that just a single loop and then you're done and the knowledge graph is there. There are typically 3 loops involved. The expert loop, mainly driven by the knowledge engineers with help from the subject matter experts. On the right-hand side, the automation loop, and then on top, the user loop.
One of the crucial things we already mentioned, Andreas mentioned, providing the knowledge graph as a service, because the knowledge graph will have to be connected to your existing systems. We do not replace systems, we connect to them, extend them, enrich them, make them better, and then of course also provide services that make it easy to build applications on top. What we see now is the high level, I would say, knowledge graph infrastructure that outlines the main components. And then this is on one hand the storage, of course, where we have a graph database that holds the data, holds the knowledge graph. But of course, we need a component or components that allow to manage that knowledge graph, and components that allow to enrich. There we have to include machine learning and all those concepts. Definitely, this has to play together, and very important, especially when you want to roll out a full enterprise knowledge infrastructure data catalog. that gives you this meta view on the existing data sets in the different systems, how to access them and how to combine them. A catalog of your data to be available, and also a guide what you can do with it.
Yeah, thanks for that. I think it's important again to say thank you to all of our experts, in that case in a different order. All of them helped us a lot. You've seen what they had to say about knowledge graphs, and how we were able to include that in our book.